traveling through portals. Oh my goodness, everyone. Oof, this is how we're going to be doing this through traveling in the new earth, in the fifth dimension and beyond. No airplanes. Let's dive right on in. Welcome. I am Saraharyana. Let's talk about this traveling through portals. This is so exciting. So I had an experience, and it was in the astral, and I was traveling through portals. And when I woke up, I mean, I really felt this. My face was extremely puffy. It took me quite a while to get back. Energetically, it was quite a lot. And then this information came forward with coming back from going through these portals, that this is how the original design was, with the original divine blueprint of Earth, is that we went through portals. We went through portals that are here on Earth. Now, when it came through the false matrix, and part of the fail-safe mechanism was someone needed to be picked up here. So part of the fail-safe mechanism was that when the false matrix came in, that portals were shut down. Now, the message that came in from the divine, it was fascinating, is that there's actually a protocol. Hi. There's a protocol with the portals. First is that to enter the portals is that there needs to be a level of purification in the human. The other part, I'm going to elaborate on that in just a moment. The next part is that the realm permits it. So the false matrix doesn't permit that we can walk through portals. That's all changing. The new earth, when we move into the fifth dimensional frequency, there are no airplanes. There are no 3D structures. So that is changing. Yes, you're such a good boy. You're so good. So the level of purity. Now, you may be thinking, well, how is that going to work? Again, the information that's coming through can be triggering, can be uncomfortable, and you may not resonate with the information. So I really recommend tune in and see how this feels. What the information has been coming through, and this has been unraveling for the past couple of months at a very accelerated rate and shown to me, is that when the false matrix came in, that they brainwashed humanity, and that we started eating the animals, which were our friends, which are souls in another suit. So when we're eating animals, it's actually cannibalism. And that there have been so many veils placed over us that we can't see that. We can't see that. However, there are some that can see that, and that as a species, we actually thrive as frugivores, fruitarians. And so there's been a lot of information regarding fruit saying, well, about the fructose and the rotting of our teeth. And I mean, these are all false truths. However, it has to do with a vibrational frequency. It has to do with a vibrational frequency. That as this is shifting and changing, that our bodies will actually repel the meat and the dairy. We'll physically get sick. Some of you are experiencing this now. It's going to get stronger and stronger in the months and years ahead. Very strong. So the level of purity regarding with a portal is that our vessels have to be clean two ways. First, it is the deposits that have to be out. Now, humans have only two eye colors, blue or brown. Check with your mom if you're able to. What was your eye color at birth? Right out of the womb. What was your eye color? And a lot of you are going to say, well, all babies have blue eyes. No, that's not true. Now, and as we move into being human and child, teenager, adult, that we can see it within our eyes. Our eye color actually changes. And also hair color also changes as well. You might have been blonde and then you turn brown hair. I mean, there's all different kinds of things that come up from what we're eating and digesting. And the whole intention of the false matrix is to literally poison humanity. So that we're so dumbed down that they can control us and distract us. So part of what they've done is through, we know, the food system. But what I didn't know, and this has just come forward now, is that with every immunization, with every pharmacy drug, it could be birth control, hormone replacement therapy, I mean, any kind of weight loss drug, you think of all of this, that it actually goes into our human bodies. And then there's an actual deposit that goes in from the chemicals and sinks into the tissues, into the organs, into the cells. And then what that does is it causes that we then need to take supplements and other things because we can't actually absorb naturally what we can from food. And you may be thinking, well, all the food's poisoned. Well, yes, they've done this to the land and the air and the food. However, it's really from these chemical deposits. It's also from even from genetic transfer from our own mothers as well. I mean, it's unbelievable what's been happening to humanity. So you may be thinking, well, how do we get this out? How do I go from hazel eyes to get my naturally blue eyes? Some of you already have blue eyes. And how do I get this? How do we get this stuff out? We want to get this stuff out of our bodies. And again, tune within. The only way that I know now is to go through fruit, because fruit is the only hydration that is healing enough for our vessels to actually get these deposits out. So you may be thinking, well, how long is that going to take? It's on an individual level, maybe 90 days. And maybe, you think about all how old we are and how we've absorbed all these chemicals. So it's not going to take a month. It may take even a couple of years. And it may be too that, when we're on the fruit, there's so much that comes up emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually, that you may go on fruit only for a little bit and be like, wow, this is so much. I'm releasing so much. This is releasing on a whole other level than we ever have been. This is getting very, very deep. It's getting to the root of everything. And you may be thinking, well, what about water fasting? So-and-so is talking about water fasting and I can only speak from experience. I've done a few water fasts, and the last one I did was, I remember I was on my 4th day of the water fast, and I had so much pain in my body. And I remember thinking, it just doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't feel right, the water fast. And this is the other part that needs to come in regarding the purity, but when we go through the portals, it is actually parasitic energies. So we all have parasitic energies in us. I know, we all do as a species. And the positive is that we can get them all out. Now, for myself, it's not through a water fast, because I find that water fast is actually very harmful to the body. There are ways you can get parasitic energies out and become really clear. It can be through a healer. There are certain really high vibrational healers that know exactly how to take out parasitic energies. You go a few times and you're clear. And then it's up to you also to maintain that clear channel. It can also be through fruit. You may find that the water fast works for you and you're okay with that. It really is on an individual basis. Again, we're releasing the guru complex that, so-and-so said this, I got to follow this. We each have to tune into our hearts and listen to what's right for us. For myself, it's fruit. And also the discovery of it's not eating the nuts and seeds and the vegetables when you're going through a fruit detox, because you need that high vibrational. It's not having the fats. You need that purity of the fruit to then release the deposits, these chemical deposits from the body, to then clear the lymphatic congestion. And it takes time. So you may find that 6 months and maybe a year that maybe, you've had hazel eyes or green eyes, and oh my gosh, now your eyes are blue. And you'll be shocked at actually what comes out of the body when you move into the fruit detox. And you may be feeling, you know what, I need to actually bring herbs in with that. We each need to tune in, because our bodies, they're incredible with communication when we actually listen to them. So that is one way they're showing with a portal, is that once there's a group now that is in preparation for this, that is getting ready to be cleansed. It's with the energetic parasites that are coming out, and it is also these chemical deposits that are in our bodies that are coming out. This is this year, everyone, in 2026, that some are walking through the portals. Now, when they go through the portals, there's an act, and it has to be in this 1 year and beyond. Couldn't be anywhere beforehand. Couldn't be in the past. So when some of these souls, there's only a handful, when this handful, wherever they're located around the globe, there's going to be a portal that's revealed to them. They walk through the portal, and there's an activation. And through this group that's doing this, walking through the portals, there's also an acceleration for all of us. There's a deep acceleration for all of us within the heightening of the energy. It's an activation within these portals. Now, these specific portals are portals that are on Earth and that you get to other spots on Earth. These are not portals that are opening up to other realms and galaxies yet. These portals are on Earth. These souls will know exactly where to go. They'll feel guided to intuitively know how to get the parasitic energies out, intuitively know how to get these chemical deposits out. And when they will either have in dream time messages, however unfolds for them, and then they'll be guided, even maybe traveling to a certain spot and see the portal and walk through it. And them doing so, it activates this portal and this portal. And there's a huge amount of energy that awakens and assists humanity, awakens all of us to even the next level. It's a higher vibration. So this is incredible that's happening. So it really is, the message is that this is changing. The positive is that this information is coming forward for us now to really think about what we're consuming and to intuitively listen to our bodies, and see what is working, what isn't. And you may be shocked. You may be absolutely shocked that all of a sudden your body doesn't want sugar. I'm not talking fruit sugar. I'm talking about processed sugar. All of a sudden you're like, wow, I've gone to the grocery store and all these aisles. I don't want to go in any of those aisles anymore. I don't want to go down the cereal aisle anymore. I don't want this in my body anymore. You may be along those lines, or all of a sudden you're like, caffeine has really impacted me. I don't want caffeine anymore. Or, oh my gosh, that's the last time I'll ever drink alcohol. I just feel so sick. I feel so sick when I bring that into my body. Maybe that, I don't want to paint my fingernails anymore. There's actually energy centers in my hands and my nails, and I need it free. I need it free from the toxins. So it may be, there's so much unraveling. There's so much unraveling. And through this process, it really is being so kind and loving, and individually listening to our guidance, listening to these incredible vessels that we are in, because it is not going to be the same for everyone. It is not going to be the same. The positive is portals are opening. Portals are opening. And this needs to happen now before the dimensional shift the next few years. And imagine this. This is what also the excitement that comes in. Imagine really they want us to be in this energy of the new earth, and, going with your partner, going with your friend, going with your family. And we're like, okay, we're going to go now through the portal, everyone, and we're going to go to Japan. And we're going to, visit our friends there. No need for an airplane. And then, we visit the friends there and then we come back. Let's come back to Canada. Let's come back to the States. Let's go back to Europe. Or, you're wherever and you're like, oh, we're going to go to such and such place now. And imagine this. Imagine that. So this is where we're moving into. It's very exciting. And it's time. It's time now this information comes forward for us to start releasing what's in our bodies, the poisons, and however that looks like to you. I leave this video with turkeys, wild turkeys. They're so sweet. I actually pulled over and recorded them. I asked them, I stayed far away. And it was the babies that were there and the older turkeys were watching. It was such a sense of community. And that's what I really wanted to bring forward, is that we are working together as a community here. Each one of us is needed with our love, our light, our uniqueness. And we are moving forward into harmony, everyone. Unity, peace, harmony, and love. And may the frequency of the turkeys bring in that harmony, that we are working together as a community. Blessings of love and light to all. Namaste.